Attacks against healthcare systems, ransomware going berserk, and foreign intel services recruiting American cyber experts. These are just some of the cyber stories you need to know for the week of August 2nd. Lots to cover. Let's go. COVID vaccine booking systems? What a new low. On Monday, August 2nd, a source from Italy's cybercrime police reported that hackers had attacked and blocked an Italian COVID-19 vaccination booking system. The source stated that an investigation had been opened into the attack on the IT system for the health department of Lazio. Lazio is a heavily populated region in Italy, Rome being one of the major cities in that region. The attack reportedly started Sunday, August 1st, and was ongoing into Monday. The source of the attack is publicly being reported as unknown, as authorities are likely to release more information on the source as the investigation continues. According to the source, the attacker used CryptoLocker tool to encrypt files on the database, consequently blocking all of the system's activities, though these allegations have not been officially confirmed. The source also stated that the attack had been isolated. It is unclear why someone would target a healthcare system scheduling vaccinations, other than to hold the system at ransom for a lucrative payoff or to make a statement against vaccines. Press releases for this attack were ongoing during this week, and mostly from Italian sources. Lazio's Regional Health Council, Alessio D'Amato, released a statement that the technicians were working to restore the scheduling system and that no data had been stolen. He also stated that citizens who had previously booked their appointments for a vaccine through August 13th were good to go to get a shot. He also made it a point to state that this was the most serious cyber attack ever carried out on an Italian public administration. In addition, the president of the Lazio region, Niccolo Zingaretti, noted that the attack was of a terrorist nature and called it a criminal offense of the most serious that has ever occurred. It will be interesting to see who the source of the attack is, the method of attack, and the Italian authorities' response. Fortunately, Italian reports on Wednesday and Thursday indicated that the scheduling systems for vaccines had been restored. We'll track this story to see if more information is released. In another attack on medical systems, Sanford Health issued a statement on Wednesday, the 4th of August, that it was the target of an attempted cyber attack. Sanford primarily provides medical services in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota. It is headquartered in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and comprised of 46 hospitals, 224 clinics, hundreds of senior living communities and nursing rehabilitation facilities, and has approximately 48,000 employees. Bill Gason, the CEO of Sanford Health, announced that, and I quote, "Sanford Health has experienced an attempted cybersecurity incident, and we are taking aggressive measures to contain the impact." He also noted that, quote, "We have engaged leading IT security experts to assist in the response and have notified and will be working closely with federal authorities." In the articles reviewed for this brief, it was reported that IT staff and security professionals were attempting to contain the cyber incident and minimize the impact of disruptions to medical services. Few details have been released on the specifics of the incident, method of attack, or who the source of the incident was. Could the attack against Sanford and the Italian COVID system be related? Possibly, but it is hard to say. Too few details have been released from both incidents to make those connections. It may take weeks to finalize the analysis of attacks, and even then, making the connections between two cases depends on the details released to the public by both victims. We will continue to monitor the reporting on both incidents and let you know the details as they are released. Ransomware attacks continue to rise in 2021. In an article from the ThreatPost website on Tuesday, August 3rd, it was reported that ransomware attacks have increased 151% in the first 6 months of this year as compared to last year. The report cites SonicWall's Capture Labs telemetry statistics indicating that there have been approximately 305 million ransomware attempts so far this year. To put that into perspective, SonicWall reported 304.6 million attempts for the entirety of 2020, highlighting the extraordinary increase in the number of attempted ransomware attacks this year. Europe reportedly leads the way in the number of ransomware attacks, with a 234% spike in attempted attacks so far this year. North America trailed Europe, but the region has also experienced a 180% spike this year, with the United States experiencing the highest number of ransomware attacks for any country, which is no big surprise. Interestingly, while Asia has experienced a 59% spike in attempted attacks for this year, analysts have noted that the number of attempts have decreased since the high seen in March. This article did not highlight the reason for the decrease in this region, though it would be interesting to see why this was the case. Researchers at SonicWall identified Ryuk, Cerber, and Samsam as the top 3 ransomware variants this year. Ryuk led the pack in attempted use with 93.9 million instances seen in 2021. Both Cerber and Samsam hover around 50 million instances each so far this year. The Ryuk ransomware variant targets Microsoft Windows systems and demands that the ransom be paid in Bitcoin. It first appeared in August 2018, but is believed to be based on an older ransomware called Hermes. Hermes was used by a North Korean-sponsored Lazarus group who used the ransomware in an attack on the Taiwanese Far East International Bank in October 2017. Researchers believe that Ryuk was built by a Russian cybercriminal group that obtained a copy of Hermes and made improvements. It is also believed that multiple cyber criminal groups, most likely Russian, use Ryuk to target organizations in a coordinated campaign. For your awareness, SonicWall provides network security appliances and solutions to the cyber community. Their SonicWall Capture Lab, and I quote from their website, gathers, analyzes, and vets threat information from their global network of sensors, which consists of over 1 million sensors worldwide, as you can see on their website. They periodically release threat reports throughout the year. I'll leave a link to their 2021 mid-year report in the description for your further research. And I can't close this week's brief without mentioning something that sparked my interest from this year's BlackHat event. David Evenden, founder of Standard User LLC, presented a cautionary tale of how he was unknowingly recruited after serving at the NSA by the United Arab Emirates Foreign Intel Service. In 2014, David discussed how he got an offer way too good to be true to work for the UAE's Project Raven. During the presentation, he discusses how he missed the warning signs because he was too naive. Project Raven was a UAE offensive cyber initiative that heavily recruited U.S. intel talent. David was lured to the team with a lucrative offer and the guise that supporting the UAE initiative would help the U.S. in the fight against terror. David worked for Project Dread, whose cover story was to support defensive cyber measures for the UAE. In reality, Project Dread was geared to build UAE cyber intelligence and offensive operations against UAE targets. These targets included groups other than terrorist networks, such as civil rights groups, against UAE policies and political figures in other countries. What changed it for David was when he received Michelle Obama's emails during a trip she planned to the Middle East in 2015 for her Let Girls Learn initiative, and was told to provide analysis. That was the point David felt uncomfortable, and shortly after this left the organization. David's tips to those being recruited by offers overseas that seemed too good to be true were, and I quote, "Vet your leadership. That's one of the main things I learned out of this. If you get those hairs standing up on your arms, you need to step back and make sure you have an exit strategy. Whether or not an organization provides you with one, you need one." End quote. Seems like great advice. And that's the Cyber GPS brief for the week of August 2nd. As always, the links for all of the articles researched for this report can be found in the video description. As you know, cyber never sleeps, and you need to be in the know. If you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. See you next week.